protesters on both sides of the abortion issue.
Day 4 of Operation Rescue's Cities of Refuge campaign began before dawn today with a prayer vigil outside of Sunnyvale Planned Parenthood. Right now, that vigil continues. Alicia Rivas is standing by live with more. Alicia.
Well, Doug and Stacy, the group size has dwindled a bit since early this morning, and that's understandable. It's a little hard to tell what's going on here, but there are a number of Pt.4 people. That's a pro-choice group. And you can see them holding their signs, and they've been parading up and down the sidewalk and chanting. Leaning up against a car is the Operation Rescue group, and they are reading the New Testament. They plan to read the entire New Testament, which is a rather lengthy text, so that means this is going to be a lengthy demonstration. They've been here since daybreak, but so far it doesn't look like anyone on either side is wearing down. An endless chant from pro-choice supporters drowns out the endless prayer from anti-abortion demonstrators.
In verse 34, Jesus answered them, "Is it not written in your law?"
It was dawn when Operation Rescue began reading the New Testament outside a Sunnyvale Planned Parenthood clinic. A city ordinance keeps the demonstrators well off Planned Parenthood's property, so it's been business as usual for the clinic.
It's a family planning clinic, and people are coming for birth control and annual exams and that kind of thing, and the patients have had no problem getting in.
The Women's Community Clinic in San Jose also stayed open throughout an Operation Rescue demonstration. But this standoff only lasted a couple of hours, launching an afternoon of rumors about where Operation Rescue would hit next.
This is Carol at WCC, over.
No OR, it's over.
Sunnyvale remained the only target for Operation Rescue this afternoon, and the only tactic used here was prayer.
We're going to be doing a variety of things today and throughout the week, and our tactics will change from day to day.
Expects to be out here for a while. They have been vocal, but they've been non-violent. There was only one arrest today. That was earlier today in San Jose at the Women's Community Clinic. A pro-choicer was arrested for blocking the sidewalk. That brings the total of arrests for this entire week up to 20. Doug and Stacy, we're also getting word of a demonstration in Oak Ridge in South San Jose involving 70 people. We're efforting a live shot on that, and we hope to bring you more on that later in the show.
Alicia, even with the clinics open, are many people showing up for the services?
Yes, Doug, I'm told that the business here at Planned Parenthood has been the same as it would have been on any other day. The same people that they would have expected to show up today have.
Okay, thank you. The abortion issue is getting buried in legal wrangling among the protesters, as Beth Willon now reports. At issue are the police and San Jose's new protesting ordinances.
The legal maneuvering started at dawn this morning. Jeff White, the state coordinator for Operation Rescue, was escorted off the property at Sunnyvale's Planned Parenthood clinic. The police pulled out this 1991 civil injunction.
But it does apply to him.
Meanwhile, Operation Rescue is trying to get a temporary restraining order on San Jose's new residential picketing law. It keeps protesters 300 feet from a targeted residence and resulted in the arrest of 15 Operation Rescue protesters on Saturday. The group is filing a complaint and will likely be in court tomorrow.
That's not unusual in the civil rights battle. That's a historical way that it works, because if somebody has an unpopular view, those in power use that power to enact the laws against them.
Protesters on both sides of the abortion issue don't like the way the San Jose police are interpreting the city's new ordinances. But the police say that means they're staying neutral.
We're taking a stand of complete neutrality in this. We will defend the rights of both sides, the freedom to protest, First Amendment rights. However, our goal is to keep the clinics open, keep the surrounding businesses in the area open, and to enforce the laws.
But abortion activists like Pt.4 and the National Lawyers Guild plan to meet with the mayor and city council soon. They believe the San Jose police are siding with Operation Rescue.
So it's a crime that what we're doing now is having to fight the police at every corner in order to be able to get to the clinics and keep them open. So if you want to call it legal maneuvering, that might fit. But what it is really what we've always said. Operation Rescue doesn't care about saving babies. They're just out to disrupt women's lives.
In the end, the legal battles could end up being bigger than the abortion battle on the streets of San Jose. Beth Willon, KNTV News, First Edition.
Training order against the city's ordinances.
Operation Rescue spread out across the country this week, targeting 7 metropolitan areas in this Cities of Refuge campaign. In addition to San Jose, there are demonstrations this week in Cleveland, Ohio, Central Florida, the Philadelphia area, Jackson, Mississippi, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, and Minneapolis. Things were mostly quiet in most of those areas after weekend demonstrations. 4 abortion rights volunteers were arrested yesterday in Minneapolis on suspicion of stalking Operation Rescue members. Abortion rights activists say they are hounding Operation Rescue, where they're meeting in several cities to show them how it feels. Our coverage of the Cities of Refuge campaign doesn't end here. A protest with more than 70 people is going on right now in South San Jose. We hope to have a live coverage of that from there later in this newscast. At 6 o'clock, we'll also take a look at the people caught in the middle of the protest, those who live near the clinics, churches, and doctors. We'll show you what it's been like for them. That's at 6 o'clock right here on the testing. So far, Operation Rescue continues to rock the Santa Clara Valley.
The police arrested 37 people today in San Jose at the Planned Parenthood Clinic near Oak Ridge Mall. Many of them are still in jail, and that's where David Winter is right now with the latest. David.
Well, Doug, about 40 members of Operation Rescue arrived outside the jail just about a half hour ago. Right now, they're singing, as you can see, and they're waiting for their comrades to be released. Now, 7 women were just released. They were greeted by a round of applause. There were 10 women arrested total today, 20 men and 7 children. Now, all of these people were arrested between 5 and 6 o'clock this afternoon. They were arrested for blocking the entrance of a Planned Parenthood on San Jose's south side. 75 anti-abortion activists showed up unexpectedly at the Planned Parenthood next to the Oak Ridge Mall at 4:45 this afternoon.
It was scary because they came up like Night of the Living Dead. They were very, very quiet, and they just came up and started doing prayer for. We didn't know how many there were. We were just getting ready for end of our shift. The kids inside were real scared. So our group barricaded the door, and they didn't get in, but they sat down, they crawled on their hands and their knees, and they came in and tried to get us to get out of the way, but we wouldn't move.
There were only about 15 pro-choice clinic defenders there to guard the entrances. The police moved in quickly and started making arrests. Anti-abortion activists called the police arresting techniques torture. The police defended their technique.
It's a pain compliance hold.
Which means what?
Which means that as long as you don't resist, it will not hurt you.
About an hour and a half later, at a rally at Operation Rescue headquarters, anti-abortion forces claimed victory.
Planned Parenthood didn't see it coming.
Operation Rescue's Jeff White says he helped organize the last-minute rescue. He says a teenager called him last night, claiming her friend was scheduled for an abortion this afternoon. Operation Rescue says it showed up to the clinic this afternoon. Its volunteers intercepted the girl, and she agreed for now to put off the abortion.
Well, this clinic doesn't
The clinic director told us there have never been abortions scheduled on Mondays, and there were none today. Operation Rescue believes the clinics are switching around their schedules because of their presence.
Planned Parenthood was trying to pull a fast one, and we're just committing that during this week, if we know where a child's going to be killed, we're going to do all that we can to save it.
Planned Parenthood claims that the only thing going on at that clinic today was birth control counseling. Now, these people standing behind me are going to have a late evening. It's going to take several more hours before all of the people are released. The police say it takes about 8 hours to process the people normally, and with so many arrests, they say it could be a long night. Reporting live from outside the jail, David Winter, KNTV News Nightside.
Okay, thank you, David.
Anti-abortion demonstrators started their protest early this morning in Sunnyvale. Members of Operation Rescue began reading from the New Testament just after dawn in front of the Sunnyvale Planned Parenthood Clinic. Pro-choice demonstrators were on hand to counter Operation Rescue's tactics. The clinic, however, was not bothered thanks to a Sunnyvale ordinance that kept demonstrators a safe distance away. Demonstrators from both sides remained outside the clinic until this evening.
The local abortion battle is not only being fought outside the abortion clinics, but in the courts as well. Operation Rescue is now trying to get a temporary restraining.
Operation Rescue's anti-abortion campaign is in full swing in San Jose. The thousands who were predicted to descend on the city have not materialized, but the hundreds who are taking part in the campaign are gearing up for a full week of demonstrations outside South Bay abortion clinics. This church in Willow Glen is Operation Rescue headquarters. Tonight, about 30 pro-choice demonstrators showed up outside claiming the pro-life cause has been defeated. But inside, Operation Rescue celebrated what they call a moral victory. They heard from a woman who says she used to be pro-choice and is now a member of Operation Rescue. She says it was the pro-choice movement that caused her to change her stance.
The very hardcore extremists like Pt.4 and Enrock, they were part of the reason why I no longer wanted to be the face of pro-choice America. Mainstream people, I understand, and I know and I believe that some of them are terribly sincere and convicted about their feelings. I feel differently, and if we're talking about choice, that is my choice to feel differently now than I did before.
Operation Rescue activities are planned through the rest of the week. Controversial anti-abortion leader Randall Terry is expected to appear Wednesday at the San Jose Civic Auditorium. Earlier tonight, 37 Operation Rescue protesters were arrested at the Planned Parenthood near Oak Ridge Mall in San Jose. Police say anti-abortion activists stormed the clinic and blocked all entrances. 30 adults and 7 juveniles were arrested without incident. Operation Rescue organizers claim they persuaded one woman against having an abortion, but Planned Parenthood says there were no abortions scheduled at that clinic today.
Now, earlier in the day, a protest at the Planned Parenthood clinic in Sunnyvale was calm in contrast to a similar demonstration there 5 years ago. Diana Yee has that story.
And the apostles said to the Lord, Operation Rescue started gathering outside the Planned Parenthood clinic in Sunnyvale about 6 o'clock this morning. Organizers say 150 members are taking turns throughout the day reading the New Testament out loud. But abortion rights advocates made the most noise.
Hey, you'll need it. Your cause has been defeated.
Don't let your church think for you! And that was as heated as it got this afternoon. Quite a different scene from an anti-abortion demonstration at the exact same site back in 1988. Abortion protesters blocked clinic doors, some dragged away by police. To many, this summer's anti-abortion protests in the South Bay appear to have lost momentum. Operation Rescue promised thousands of members would descend on the area, but there have only been a few dozen at the most.
I'm not disappointed in the numbers, but I am saddened that many Christians have believed something about us that's not true, or for whatever reasons aren't taking the opportunity to come out and be a part of what they can be a part of to save the children.
So what does all this mean? Are pro-choice advocates winning this battle? Did the killing of an abortion doctor in Florida hurt Operation Rescue's credibility, even though the group does not claim responsibility? Does having a pro-choice president have an impact on the mood of the country?
If you look at public opinion surveys, only about 10% of the public accept the position that Operation Rescue supports.
Political analyst Roy Young at San Jose State agrees Operation Rescue's support may not be as strong as it used to be, but that doesn't mean the group's lost this battle. He says Operation Rescue has become more sophisticated by challenging the issue in court, and the group is still getting its message across to the public.
You can say, I had the opportunity to go out and express my views, and again, Channel 36 paid attention to me, the media, and that's better than grabbing a gun and starting a revolution.
Antioch police say they believe Joel Sousa fatally... Operation Rescue is wearing on some neighbors. Yvonne Tidwell, an apartment complex manager, says that although the demonstrators are peaceful, they're also extremely loud.
The language is unnecessary with some of these people, and they're using major four-letter words.
And parking is also a nightmare near the complex, with police closing the streets every afternoon at 3 until 11 at night.
They had no right to flood this place and deny us our rental rights, which were to come and go here day and night whenever we wanted to.
Also, some of the neighbors near the Planned Parenthood clinic on the Alameda say that they have become virtual prisoners in their homes due to the hundreds of demonstrators who have shown up.
She can malpart, and I will have to follow what Our Lady has asked.
Those boys, members of a Catholic youth group, face misdemeanor charges. Of the 37 arrests today, 9 were juveniles. Another week of demonstrations planned for San Jose and 5 other target cities. We're told the leader of Operation Rescue will...